Well, if you're afraid of all sorts of other intellectual properties leaking into the Magic multiverse, if you're afraid that we're going to be playing with SpongeBob's in Standard, well, put those fears to rest, because at the Blogatog, the bloggy of Mark Rosewater, he was asked, "Hey Mark, I just want to thank you for an amazing year of Magic. I love Kaldheim, and Strixhaven has been my all-time favorite set. However, not a fan of the Forgotten Realms set, and it has me concerned for the future of Premier sets. I wish Premier sets were reserved for Magic's own intellectual property." And then Mark Rosewater responds with, "Future sets with non-Magic properties will not be Premier sets." I think they looked at the numbers, people, and by numbers, I mean the money coming in, and it doesn't look good. You know, I bet they could have done this properly. I bet they could have done this right, but apparently, you know, the cards are trash compared to the cards that they've printed for the last, I don't know, 6 years. The draft format is not what they thought it was going to be. I mean, everything's pretty underpowered, underwhelming, and the flavor wasn't even there. I mean, I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but I remember, I recall seeing many posts about, like, hey, they did a disservice to this character. They didn't make this character powerful enough. Why does this character, like, have, like, such weak abilities? So, this might be a case of, like, them taking a shot at something new, and the execution was just garbage. But they, and apparently, anyway, future sets with non-Magic properties will not be Premier sets. By the way, this is not set in stone. We all know how Wizards of the Coast works. They're like, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, do you know what? 2 years later, we're going to go back on what we said. You know, we're going to take it back. We're going to do it anyway. So, I mean, it could come back, but I imagine for, like, another 4 or 5 years, they're going to stick to just Magic intellectual property in the Magic multiverse. That's how it's going to be. F Dungeons and Dragons should have kept it to Magic only. The D&D set was so awful, I hate it. What other opinions are there on this? I mean, I don't even want to really touch this set. There's, like, no interesting cards for me. Maybe Demilich was sort of interesting. I mean, there are some... I mean, hey, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. People laughing at the Dungeons and Dragons set, but the person who's really laughing is the mill decks. I mean, they needed a card like that. Exile cards from the top of your library? Screw your Emrakul, screw your Ulamogs. Anyway, that's the deal. We're going to be sticking to Magic going forward when it comes to Premier sets. So anyway, welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. And also, we do Decklist review. So if you've got a 75 you'd like some feedback on, both myself and the community would love to give you that feedback. So brew up your coffees, coffee crew. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for August 17th, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. Oswald Fiddlebender, the most interesting card from Forgotten Realms? Okay. Well, I don't know about... I don't see much play out of that card, but I guess you could say it's interesting. D&D set is amazing. You guys are just angry old heads. Yes, we are. Most definitely. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Tyler Roberts, the amazing Wally, with, I think, a new avatar. Baku, good morning, GP, Ty, Bell, Fraser, T, Schechter, Straw Boss, Rick Ego, Spencer Sparks, Cody, Mareep, MTG Box, D-Ty Gaming, Evolved MTG, Trevor, Just, the Iron Warlock, and the Iron Warlock. Good morning, GD Emrakul. Good morning, everyone. And we also have to say a good morning to, of course, you know who. Fusion Gaming Online. They have their 15th anniversary sale right now. Save up to 50% off hundreds of items on sale. The sealed boxes and sealed product can only be sent within Canada. Singles and everything else can be shipped internationally. So just keep that in mind. But the sealed product can only be in Canada because it is a Canadian local game store. Remember, it's all in Canadian prices. Keep that in mind when you do your calculation. But you can get an additional 5% off, in addition to 50% off, when you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Saves you money, supports the channel. It's a win-win all around. Then there is Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. So on Magic the Gathering Online, you can play any deck, any format, anytime, you don't have to buy into a deck. If you want to try everything out to see what's best for you, and you only want to play it for a week before you move on to something else, hey, Mana Traders was made for you. You can support the channel by renting with my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using my coupon code Nikachu. All right, you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I get on my YouTube channels and Facebook fan page. Or if you are on YouTube, you can donate with super chats. Pushes your question to the top of my feed. What do we got? Rick Ego starting the conversation off today. What is the current kryptonite in the current meta with your current Merfolk bounce? You mean kryptonite against the meta? I want to say it's something like Chalice of the Void, but I don't think it's quite good enough. Like, a lot of decks are playing Chalice of the Void. Like, Chalice of the Void is like the card right now. I should check out the price of Chalice of the Void. Like, every deck's playing Chalice of the Void to beat, like, Hammer Time, Is It Tempo, the Crashing Footfall deck. We see Blue-White Control playing with Chalice of the Void in the main deck. Not this one. This one apparently is not playing Chalice of the Void. Well, where's Wafotapa's deck list? Well, it's not up yet? It's not up yet. But Wafotapa's latest deck list is playing like 2 Chalice of the Void in his Blue-White Control deck. Amazing. Just amazing. So I think that is the card right now. But I can't call it the Kryptonite because every single deck has an answer to Chalice. Hammer Time is playing with Prismatic Ending. Is It Tempo can go up on their curve post-board and they bring in the Abrades. 5-color elementals don't care. Crashing Footfalls. I mean, you hit only 1 spell with it, but outside of that, you can hit they can still petty theft the damn thing and just play creatures. Same thing with Living End. I mean, they can petty theft, they can like force and negate your Chalice of the Void. So the decks where Chalice of the Void is best against, they have the answers. Except Mill. If you play Chalice on them, they're dead. They're just screwed. I've never seen a Mill deck come back after I put a Chalice on the battlefield. They don't seem to be able to do anything. They won't be able to do anything. But anyway, that would be my answer. Marie King, rather having another Ixalan than another Eldraine at this point. This isn't even an Ixalan. I mean, this Dungeons and Dragons set is like Born of the Gods power level. If anyone was around Born of the Gods, I mean, it was pretty... Was it Born of the Gods or was Return... There was the third... Was it the third or second in that cycle? It was just terrible. It was the one with Inspired, where you untap your creatures and you get an ability. The set was just trash. There were some playables in there, but it was a very underpowered set. Spencer Sparks, are you hoping for anything specific to come in Modern Horizons 3 for Merfolk? You know what? I don't expect anything. Although, both Modern Horizons have been very kind to Merfolk, both of them. We got Force Negation in Modern Horizons 1, and the Horizon lands, and then we got a bunch of Merfolk in Modern Horizons 2. Pancho Hernandez, strongest tribal right now on Modern Elementals. Easy. Easy clap, definitely. 5-color Elementals is the best tribal deck in Modern right now. Scrub and Scrubs is just squealing with ghee at the moment. This is it. Why? I mean, they've... I talk about free spells constantly for the last 5 years, and this is just free spell deck. Free spell, free spell, free value. Any other free spells here? Tutor, 1 mana Vampiric Tutor. It's pretty dumb. This creates a bunch of free spells. So elementals easily. Kellen asks, in my opinion, Dungeons & Dragons is vital for powering down standard since that's the format Wizards of the Coast wants to push out to new players and the most. And I also liked it because it was powered down and it was a core set. There we go. So I mean, it is good that they are powering down standard, and maybe there's just no good way about it. Because any good card, it's hard to make a good card for. Well, it's hard to make a good card immediately for standard, in a format which is super powerful. I mean, after a bunch of stuff rotates, maybe the Dungeons and Dragons cards will become, how can I put it, will become playable. But it looks like in the new set coming up, they're going to continue to print powerful cards because they already have a Champion of the Parish for zombies. Champion of the Parish. We have our first super chat. Boom! You got Death's Shadowed. No name, important life. Thank you very much. If being Death Shadowed gives me, what is it, 50 Danish crowns? Is that how it is? It's like Danish or Denmark. Can't remember what this currency is. But if it gets me 50, I'll take it. Thank you very much for the super chat. Trevor Just, 3 weeks moving. Oh yeah, that's right. Reminder, we're moving about 2 to 3. I would say 3 weeks. We're gonna be moving Coffee and MTG from the Nikachu MTG channel to Nikachu MTG Streams. So if you don't know, I have another YouTube channel called Nikachu MTG Streams that I stream this to. But not only that, it also that's where the replays go. So for the sake, because there's a lot of new subscribers to Nikachu MTG, they don't care about this. And they want to put the notifications on for the videos, but they don't want any notifications for the daily. This happens daily, like every morning, morning show. Like they just don't care. So fair enough. We got to move the stream. It's going to move to Nikachu MTG Streams, and it might go to another channel. I'll have more information on that as it comes up. Oh my God, we're getting the super chats. Ryan Harris with the $5. Do you think Infect players like me will get any new creatures, lords, anytime soon? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. I think you can get better spells, but you're not going to get better creatures, because I don't think this is a creature type that Wizards wants to push. Infect is a very delicate deck because you got turn 2 wins, so that's not exactly something Wizards wants to make better. They might give you like a 3-mana Infector, or maybe a 4-mana Infector. I mean, maybe a 3-mana Infector that you can ramp into from like Noble Hierarch, assuming Noble Hierarch didn't die. So maybe that's possible. Maybe they'll give you a 3-mana creature, but like, I wouldn't expect anything OP, because Wizards got to be very careful about giving the combo players something too good, because then you end up just turn 2ing people constantly. You got Scale Up. You're not happy with the Scale Up? Also, I mean, people maybe should be experimenting with other versions of Infect, particularly the Golgari kind. Ethan with the super chat. Thank you very much, Ethan. Good morning, mate. I'm building Blue-Red Murktide in paper. I think I'm clever. Replacing sideboard 2 Abrade with 2 Prismari Command. Unwise? It's okay. You still got the artifact decks covered, but it's expensive. And you know, your Murktide deck, you're going to want to do as much as you can with very little mana, not with a lot of mana. Because once you hit 3 mana, you are ideally playing 2 spells, 3 spells a turn. I don't know what else you want to use Prismari Command for. I guess to try to fill your graveyard for... Like, you don't even need to use it to fill your graveyard for the, what's it called, Dragon Rage Channeler, because just as you play any spells, Dragon Rage Channeler is putting cards into the graveyard. So you deal 2 damage, which is less than 3. You can loot, which is fine. Target player creates a treasure token. Okay, you know what? You just can't play this thing. In a Murktide deck, you want to operate on lower mana. You don't need the looting. And also, you don't need the treasure token because your deck is so lean and so low on mana cost. I don't think the treasure token's worth anything to you. I would stick to a Braid. Little too fancy. You'd have to give me like a really good reason why you're playing this card. I don't know if you have enough of a reason. Turn 1 Darcy, turn 2 Mire Triton, turn 3 Luris. See, what do we got here? Mareep King, rather than having... Oh no, I got this one. Spencer Sparks, are you hoping for anything? Oh, I got all these questions. Mikey J, I just want to say thanks to all the constructed players trying draft on Arena. I'm locking all the free gems. There we go. Yeah, as long as you construct... I just want to thank all the constructed players for trying. Are you implying that they're not very good at draft? Is that what you're trying to... Is that what you're implying? This has to be a constructed player. You're a good player, but I know you're not doing so well in Limited. Greg Bellows, should they finally get rid of the reserve list for the health of the game? You got to... Well, I mean, I know this is a very contentious topic, but explain to me how the reserve list helps the health of the game. That's the missing point. You only... I'm gonna just say it straight up to you people. You only want these cards not because they're good, but because they're expensive. Now, you might have a really good argument for the dual lands. It'd be nice to have the OG dual lands, like, you know, eternally in the game. But for the most part, like, when the cards were like $10, $30, no one wanted them. No one cared. But now when they're $200, oh, all of a sudden everyone wants the card now. And then when they get the $500, oh, they want it even more. One day, all the reserve list cards are going to fall in the same category as Black Lotus, where you don't even want the card because it's like, it's unplayable everywhere. I mean, maybe Black Lotus is not a good comparison because it's literally not playable anywhere. But I do believe that getting rid of the reserve list will actually do nothing for the game. It will do absolutely nothing for the game except satisfy the need for some players who play in some formats, particularly Commander, which doesn't even matter because you can just proxy the damn thing anyway. There's no tournament that you, I don't know, there's very few tournaments in this world where you play with Commander. Kind of want them reprinted in gold and silver or something. Even for cubes, just proxy the, like, I had a friend who invited me over for cube, and all the power cards were proxied. Simple as that. And yeah, he tried to make it as real as possible, but the power cards were proxies. So did I get less enjoyment out of the cube because I'm playing with a fake Black Lotus? Oh, this thing's fake. Why are you even calling me out tonight? What is even the point of me being here? You take your fake Black Lotus. Like, get out of here, people. Get out of here. Abolishing the reserve list is best for Commander and Legacy players, not so much for everyone else. I would argue it is only best for Legacy players. It should not matter to Commander players. But, like, at all. I mean, if your Commander group is going to, like, really shun you for playing, like, are there any, like, big Commander tournaments where you need to play with official cards? I don't think there are any. I mean, you might have them locally. But like a really big official tournament. And I'm sure if you do have it locally, it is still played at a casual level, which means you are allowed to play with proxies. I mean, people are playing Legacy with proxies. Like, there are officially sanctioned. They're not Legacy events. They're just casual events. But in those casual events, you can play with proxies. Reserve list cards will not be reprinted. They will be uploaded digitally. Change my mind. That's how I look at it. Well, I mean, they can have them as much as they want digitally. Kind of coffee? Can't say. Because they don't. I asked for sponsorship. They didn't give it to me. But the OG coffee crews, they'll know. They know exactly what my coffee is, how I take it. Isn't the reserve list one of the reasons why Vintage Legacy doesn't see as much play? It is exactly it. That's why I could say you can make the argument for Legacy. I bet Legacy would still be around if it wasn't for the reserve list. I have a soft spot for Legacy. I'm sorry for the Legacy players. Now, the format's not dead. It lives on digitally online. But in paper, I mean, it's hurting. And it could be a lot better. It could definitely be a lot better. And the reserve list will only make the format more expensive. But, like, my argument, like, I understand people like, we gotta get rid of the reserve list to save the game. Look, the game doesn't need saving. Like, there's nothing about getting rid of the reserve list that will, like, suddenly bring the game into popularity. The game is exploding in profit and popularity. There's more people playing it than ever before. So there's definitely, I don't really see the... I hate this argument that we need to get rid of the reserve list to save Magic. The Magic is doing quite fine, even with the reserve list. Is there another super chat from No Name Important Live? Thank you very much for the is it Denmark? Denmark crowns? I don't know. I can't remember what this currency is. I recognize the... Okay, I gotta look it up. What is DKK? Don't give me Donkey Kong. Danish krone. That's what it is. 1 Danish krone is 20 cents. So is that 10 bucks? That's 10 bucks, I think. 50 Danish krone. $10. Thank you very much for the $10. Is there any Thrasta Tempest Roar deck in Modern or Uprising? Saw the video and thought of making one. Also love your vids. You're a Death Shadow fanboy. Oh, thank you very much. Now I understand the Death Shadow thing. Currently, there is no Thrasta deck. And I understand my Thrasta video keeps getting better. It keeps getting more views. Of all the Modern Horizon cards, the Thrasta video is thriving. It's doing great. And that's why I keep it up. But my take did not age well because there is no Thrasta deck in Modern whatsoever. Definitely people have not experimented with like potential builds, but it's like no point because there's just so many other better builds at this moment. But right now there is nothing. I think what's his name? Dan from Magic Card Market tried to make a Thrasta deck with affinity with artifacts. You could probably check it out at Magic Card Market on YouTube. See what he was up to and if you can invent and evolve from there. Joshua, how do you feel about Sheldon and his bans, or do you just play EDH for fun? I play it. Well, I play competitive EDH, but like when I play EDH, I play to win, basically. But we play with proxies and to our best abilities. The bans are super arbitrary, so I'm not deep into the Commander community, but I can tell you this: I think because the philosophy and the gameplay of EDH does not align at all with the competitive part of EDH. The CEDH community should just make their own rules committee. You guys really should. If you're constantly complaining about the current rules committee and that the ban list doesn't make any sense, it's because it does. I mean, it's because it doesn't make sense. And you guys got to take it into your own hands. Someone out there's got to be like, all right, we're going to make our own rule committee. Like, because we're just a fraction of the entire EDH group. And we're going to make our own rules. We're going to make our own ban list that makes some damn sense. Like, I don't understand why you want to play EDH, but you're clearly playing a completely different format. Because the way I look at EDH is just like, how do I put it? It's like a big circle jerk or something like that. Like, you're not there to win. You're just there to enjoy the company of other people and do big and splashy things. And if you win, that's great. But if you don't, your deck did its thing. You know what I mean? Whereas competitive EDH, you're trying to win the game, and they have completely different philosophies. Soul Ring and Time Twister are both EDH legal and Biorhythm isn't. Yeah, so like their ban list in EDH is focused on removing the non-fun aspects of Magic. They're trying to remove any sort of feel-bad moments in the game, as far as I'm seeing it. But they're not trying to remove particularly oppressive cards. You know, they have all the oppressive cards you want. I mean, it's the entire library of Magic. I mean, they do have some oppressive cards taken off, are on the ban list. But you know, the way I've like, why does it's not Upheaval? Is it Upheaval? Upheaval's banned, isn't it? Pardon me for not really knowing the ban list. This is Commander format. The bans. Yeah, Upheaval's banned in Commander. Like, what the hell? So this card is only banned because it's like a feel-bad card. That's it. That's all it is. Yeah, least fun card, period. But this has nothing to do with power level. It's just a unfun card. So that is... And I understand, EDH is supposed to be a fun format. You know, it's a socially enjoyable format. So that's funny, yeah, like, Upheaval's banned, but Cyclonic Rift, that's okay. It's all good. We're all good with Cyclonic Rift. But you can recast your stuff, at the very least. Upheaval is banned for synergy with Mana Rocks and too strong in multiplayer. I don't think it's too strong in multiplayer. Whatever, if you have Mana Rocks, if everyone's playing with Mana Rocks, you're just going to replay the Mana Rocks. I personally find it unfun when my opponents start with Soul Ring and I don't. But anyway, that's the deal. I think the CEDH community, I mean, you got to put up or shut up. You clearly have a completely different format. And yeah, the ban list has nothing to do with your format. This is not aligned with your interests, how the games play out in CEDH, so I don't understand why the CEDH community has to listen to the EDH overlords. You should make your own rules committee and make your own rules. And you're a niche community anyway. You can all agree to do the damn thing. You know? Anyway, that's my perspective. And the competitive players, we're passionate about competition. So just do the damn thing yourself. That's what I think. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking. I am the best. That's right, Joshua. You all remember that. It's not like Tiny Leaders Tiny Leaders is almost like its own offshoot of Commander, right? It's not like they're listening to the rules committee of Commander. They made their own format. Unfortunately, it didn't survive. Well, I don't know. It sounds like it's making a comeback. You know, the words of Tiny Leaders are coming back. No more audio? Oh, please, tell me. Do we got audio or no? I think maybe it's just for one person. Let me know if you hear my audio. Looking forward to Merfolk and Historic next week. You know what? I sort of am. Because the, I've been playing like the same deck in Modern over and over again, and I'm running out of titles. Audio is fine. Okay, so it's, only one person's audio is dead. So I am looking forward to Merfolk and Historic coming up soon, because I've been playing the same deck in Modern. I like my build, but I don't want to change it, and I'm running out of titles for my YouTube channel. So we're gonna jump into some Historic, because we're gonna get a bunch of new goodies. We're getting Master of the Pearl Trident, we're getting Svelune, we're getting Tide Shaper. Completely gonna change the deck. Completely gonna change the deck. This will be interesting to play some Historic. Tybell, what is a non-Merfolk card that I absolutely should run in a Svelune EDH deck? Oh, a non-Merfolk card? You know what I think would be really, really good? Was it Glen Elendra Archmage? Glen Elendra is a pretty good one. Venser sometimes is good. So we got Venser. Kira, Great Glass Spinner is not too bad to protect all your Merfolk. Sometimes Vendilion Click. But Glen Elendra is a big one, because you could put it on the battlefield and it's a constant counter to protect your entire board. And then if it dies, you get another one with Persist. So here, I'll just show you. Glen Elendra. And I'm telling you this now because I need to go buy one. Oh, this is not the OG. That was the Secret Lair. Ooh, got some nice Secret Lair fairies. That's a nice one. Anyway, here's the OG Glen Elendra. 4 mana, 2/2. Because I really needed this in my last Commander game. I really needed this damn thing, and I didn't have it. I don't seem to have enough counter spells to protect my board, and this is like, this is like card advantage basically in terms of counter spells. What is your favorite animal? My favorite animal is actually cats. I know all my logos and branding has a rabbit on it, but my favorite animal hands down is a cat. Thank you very much for the super chat. What is this? Wands? 5,000 wands. What color do you think is the weakest in Modern and why? Probably blue. Never thought I'd say that, but... let's go back a second. We've got... Hammer times white. Oh, maybe it's not blue. Okay, hold on. What do we got here? We got white, blue, red, 4 color. Maybe it's black. Maybe it's black. Black is... Well, black gets more prevalent down here. I want to say blue, but you know what? That would be an absolute stupid lie. There's a lot of blue everywhere. What is going on here? Some sort of squabbling going on in chat. Fraser Chase seems like a contradiction. If they ban Fee Bud cards because Rot's casual, why wouldn't casual play groups just decide their own ban list? Well, they do, you know. But the thing is that it's good to have like some overlords telling you what is and what is not appropriate. Like, you could play with whatever ban list you wanted, but there's a lot of people who want to know what a default ban list looks like, so that they at least cultivate a sort of relatively safe environment. They just get rid of all the unfun cards. Mela asks, given that Lord of the Rings was announced as a premiere set, do you think that means they changed their mind? I don't know. But as far as they did say, I guess it's just not going to be a standard legal set. I just don't know what this thing is going to look like. Maybe they did change their mind. I mean, we still don't see any Lord of the Rings out yet. I mean, they made an announcement that there's going to be a Lord of the Rings thing. Maybe it's just not going to materialize. Maybe this thing is not actually going to happen. There's a lot of things Wizards announces, and then as time goes by, it just magically disappears, and we just wonder, hey, what happened to this? What happened to that project? And it's just never heard of again. That's Wizards' ability. That's a classic Wizards strategy. We just don't talk about that anymore. Should they revisit the modern ban list or leave it as it is because the format is diverse? You know what? I think the ban list is in a pretty good spot. I mean, I can go to the modern ban list. They've got rid of... It used to be absolutely stupid. Like, there was just so many stupid cards on here, but they've taken off a lot of the really... Like, the cards that are clearly not ban-worthy. And I think the ban list is okay. They don't really need to revisit this. I mean, it's debatable whether you want Ponder or Preordain off the ban list. I think they don't really need to be here. A lot of other people are passionate about it, but I don't think it matters one way or another if they come on or off. It'd be a minor upgrade to the decks that even want to play with cantrips these days. What else? There's some things you can, like, it doesn't need big revisiting. A lot of these cards are busted. Mox Opal is busted. Mycosynth Lattice, not really busted, but we know with Karn the Great Creator in the format it is busted. Oko is busted. Once Upon a Time is busted. Rite of Flame is probably busted. Well, I mean, I don't think the Artifact Land should be on here. I think this is stupid, but whatever. Keep them on there, no big deal. Well, it would be a big deal to some Artifact decks. They would like that. Summer Bloom is busted. Tybalt's Trickery is busted. Treasure Cruise is busted. I would say for the most part, the cards on the ban list are pretty justified. We've taken some of the wrongfully accused cards off, in my opinion. What is with the mods? Everyone's calling for mods. I don't see anything. Or maybe, or was the spam over? Oh, I see. Goodbye. I'm the ultimate mod. We need more mods. Oh, you got it? I also got it. Oh, we have another person. Are we getting, like, raided by, like, a bunch of spammers? I'm sorry, I'm walking my dogs. Didn't see anything. We put our trust in you, Frazier. You're like the head mod here. And then I have a head super mod. Lord Magicus. Whatever, it's all good. Can't people, like, individually block people? That should be a thing. Maybe we don't have enough mods. Whatever, 3 weeks, we're all moving to Nikachu MTG streams anyway. Okay, Torborg is like, I'm pretty pumped to not have too much crossover IP. D&D made a certain amount of sense, but anything beyond that feels like it'll water down the lore. Lord of the Rings might be fine, but can't imagine anymore. I imagine so long as it's within, like, the medieval time period, it's fine. Like, so long as it's when, like, Throne of Eldraine-ish sort of stuff, you know? I would like to see Lord of the Rings happen. But of course, once you start bleeding into Star Trek and Star Wars and The Simpsons, it's going to look ridiculous. The One Ring should be like a Mindslaver effect. It probably should. Is that how it would work? What would the One Ring be? I mean, most people just want to cheap it out with, like, Soul Ring, but that's not flavorful, right? Like, the One Ring gives power. But I don't know if it has, like, mind control power. It has only mind control power over other people who have rings, right? We're getting raided by bots? We're big enough, people. We're big enough now. The bots are coming. Well, also thank me. I blocked some of these people too. Don't give the mods all the credit. I like my mods. You guys do a great job. The One Ring will be an equipment that D&T gets to abuse. That's possible. The One Ring gives hexproof since it makes you invisible. I don't know if that gives you hexproof, because remember, what's his name? Isildur still got shot with arrows even though he was wearing his ring in the river. I don't know if that's actual canon, but like based on what was in the movie, he put the ring on, he was invisible, he jumped in the river. Oh no, the ring fell off. The ring fell off. I forgot. No, that's not true. Yeah, maybe it phases out. Okay, you know what? Maybe it does, but maybe it does give you hexproof. But invisible, I imagine, helps you get unblockable, but I don't know if it gives hexproof. But it might as well, right? Because they can't see you. I'm like, if you're invisible, what's the point? Maybe it can. Yeah, the one ring should make it that you can't be blocked and you have hexproof. I think I could buy that. Well, if you phase out, you're just not there to block though, but you could block with the ring. Like you can still attack and stuff when you have the ring on. Yeah, maybe it's fair to say that. Where was the original comment? I think it's fair to say like hexproof, unblockable. I don't know what else. Invisible Stalker is hexproof. Maybe Invisible Stalker has the one ring. I'm gonna get Invisible Stalker. Are you a hobbit? There he is. It's Golem right there. Golem is definitely a rogue. Shadow makes most sense. I don't know, because you can still attack and block. You can still fight people when you have the ring on. Banding bands with hobbits. Shroud comes at more of a price than hexproof, makes more flavor sense, and Shadow makes sense too. But Shadow people can only interact with other Shadow people. So how the hell does Shadow people attack me? When you attack me with a Shadow creature, how is it that you can't interact with non-Shadow creatures on the battlefield? But oh, a Planeswalker you can touch. That somehow the rules don't make any sense anymore. What a BS is this? How long ago the stream started? Stream started 42 minutes ago. Oh, sorry, 36 minutes ago. You're a wizard, Harry. So in essence, a hobbit would increase natural abilities. Isildur would have been his natural abilities increased dramatically, like Galadriel's transformation. But they still. Well, so does that mean Isildur is like a coward or something? Because he did disappear. I'm actually not familiar with the powers the One Ring gives people. So if anyone's just jumping in, we're trying to figure out what would the One Ring do in Magic the Gathering, because there's going to be a Lord of the Rings set coming out eventually, assuming they still make the thing. It's just hard to tell. You know, the One Ring is so important. It's got to be a big flavor win, because if they fail on this, it'd really suck. Why is no one answering my question? Well, what is your question? There's a lot of questions. I mean, that's why we got super chats here, people. You give me super chats, I'm going to see your question. Okay, we'll answer some questions. You know, this is a Q&A show. We don't have I mean, it could give a phasing, unblockable, hexproof, shadow. What wizards will use, or maybe make a new mechanic, we'll have to wait and see. Okay, JD Short. Is Sisters of Stone Death worth playing in EDH? Please answer. Sure. Sisters of Stone Death. I mean, you'd have to really give me an argument for why something is not playable in EDH. Like, even though it's 8 mana, that means nothing in EDH. Like, there are so many mana rocks, so much ramp. Target creature blocks Sisters of Stone Death this turn if able. You can pay 2, remove from the game target creature blocking or blocked by Sisters of Stone Death, and you can pay 3 mana, put a creature card removed from the game with Sisters of Stone Death into play under your control. Absolutely, this is playable. Whoever says otherwise, go beat them down with this card. Like, 8 mana means nothing in EDH. It just absolutely means nothing. Because the thing is, you could do nothing for the first 5 turns, and people will have less reason to attack you because other people are developing their board, and they're like, they are the threat, so they will divert their attention over there. You want to play this 8 mana thing? Go for it. I've seen it so many times. Mela says, but like, isn't the big issue with the ring that the ring wraiths could super see you when you put it on? Yes, that is a problem as well. But they need a ring. They need the ring. After 3 turns, sacrifice equipped creature or target opponent gains control of it. You mean the creature with the ring? Okay, Casper Soul. There is a 5K here in Orlando in October, followed the day by the top 32 competing in a 1K. Should I play Eldrazi, Breach, or Glimpse of Tomorrow? I think you'd be better off with either Eldrazi or the Glimpse of Tomorrow deck. But I would lean on Eldrazi. I would lean on the deck that you're most comfortable with. But I think Eldrazi and Glimpse of Tomorrow are definitely playable decks. Breach is going to be... If you give me these 3 options, I think Breach is hands down the worst. But, you know, we'll wait and see. There's going to be, like, another standard set by then. So you're going to have to ask me, like, in October. Nikachu, do you got a Discord server? I do. But you get to access the good parts when you become a member on YouTube or a patron at Patreon or Twitch. But it's in my description. And it's necessary for Decklist review, which will start in about 5 minutes. Ibra says, would you like to return to an Arabian Night set, Allah or Akbar? I mean, I don't, they would definitely, there is an Arabian Night set in the multiverse. Like, they have a very original one. I don't remember, does anyone know what it's called? Any, like, hardcore lore people know what this, like, Wizards showed, like, 4 planes in very detailed pictures. And one of them was, like, one of them was like, what's it called? One of them I think was Kaldheim, but one of them had like a bazaar. But I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what it was called. Plane calls Arabia? No, I don't think it was called Arabia. Oh, was it Rabaya? I don't know if it's this one. I don't know if it's I know this is a bunch of sand and stuff, but like the picture that they showed, it was like, what do we see for images? Maybe it's Rabaya. Maybe it's Rabaya, because I saw an image sort of like this, but it was closer to like, oh, here we go. No, this is not it. So maybe it is. Maybe it's Rabaya. So there is like a plane, I guess, called Rabaya that we might go to one day. Oh yeah, I didn't clear the queue. Sorry about that, people. So if you have a deck list from last week, you still have it. But if you submit again, you just replace the deck list. All right, we got Augie the Caser for $5. Did you clear last week's queue? I resubmitted my deck list and it gave me the same question position. You can, yeah. So if you resubmit your deck list, I didn't clear the queue. I guess I forgot. If you resubmit your deck list, it's fine. It will just replace the last deck list that you have. The queue doesn't matter though, because it's completely random. So it saves your position even if you resubmit something, but it will just replace what you submitted last week. But thanks for the super chat. You didn't have to pay. You didn't have to donate with the super chat to ask that question. But thanks. Tyler Roberts, if you had to unban 4 cards other than the artifact lands, what would they be? Then if you had to ban 3 cards for the health of the format, what would you ban? Unban cards? Okay, Ponder, Preordain. I don't know, 2 artifact lands, I guess. I think, oh, Umezawa's Jite. And I'm not really comfortable unbanning anything else. And I guess 1 artifact land. Then if we ban stuff, I don't know what I'm gonna ban. What do I not like right now? What do I think are stupid cards? I need some inspiration here. Luris? can ban Luris. Mishra's Bauble. We're gonna hit Mishra's Bauble and Luris at the same time. 2 chicks at the same time, man. And... oh, Dry to the Elysian Grove. That's what I would do. GTA Uprising, let's go. Skull Clamp? I am not unbanning Skull Clamp. That would be a gigantic mistake. Gigantic mistake. Manamorphose, I don't think we're there yet. We're close. We're close on Manamorphose, but we are not there yet. Any cool deck ideas? Want something different to spice up F&M? Go to MTG Goldfish, and I mean go to the deck list. Go to Modern. Like what is it? Decks, popular decks / metagame. I mean you got all the decks here, and they also got the budget decks. So you got budget decks that you could buy very cheap and have fun with. Anyway, people, you know what time it is. It's time to change the music to the Wii Shop channel music because it's decklist time. Okay, it's decklist review. So this is how it works. If you want your deck to have a chance of getting your deck on the spotlight for Coffee and MTG, go into my description. In my description, there is a link to my Discord. And in my Discord, there is a channel called Decklist Review. Now, in Decklist Review, enter the command, as you see on screen, ! Review deck space, give the URL to your deck list, and you'll be eligible at random people, for Decklist Review. You will be eligible at random. So it doesn't, your position in the queue doesn't mean anything. Unban Monkey and then ban the new Monkey. I think I actually prefer the way it is right now. Simian Spirit Guide would actually be pretty damn good right now because we have so many Cascade decks. Ty's like, excuse me everyone, but Simian Spirit Guide is an ape, not a monkey. That is an offense to all apes out there to call them monkeys. Fraser Chi, yeah, but when you ban all the other cards, you will wish you had banned Manamorphose when you had the chance. I guess so. Hey, I was only allowed 3. If I was allowed 4, maybe we get rid of Manamorphose. We got a pretty detailed, oh, where is this? Trevor Just, 1 ring equipment. When equipped, gains shadow, +3/+1 at end of turn. Equipped creature gets a -1/-1 counter. If the ring is equipped at end of turn, opponent gets a black Nazgul 5/5 flying shadow. That actually is interesting, that it attracts the Nazgul, so I think that's very flavorful. But why does the creature get bigger, and why does it get -1/-1? If anything, the 1 ring preserved your life. It made you live longer. And I also don't know if it actually makes you stronger. Golem is like 500 years old, and he's just a stupid hobbit. Alright, let's go look at some deck lists. Let's see if we can see some sweet, spicy thing. Deathwing! Congratulations, Deathwing. You are the next contestant on Decklist Review. Oops. Where did I go? Alright, we got mono green land destruction, destroy lands, then Trinisphere lockout opponents. For modern, relatively budget too. So we have 1 Walking Ballista and Arbor Elf, 3 Llanowar Elves, 4 Eternal Witness, Stampeding Cerro, just a 5/4 creature for format. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a green creature you control to its owner's hand. I think you have better things to do with you. This is like a pretty garbage creature. So people start suggesting, like, we could play Questing Beast, which is basically the same thing, just 1 power less, and you don't have this. Oh, you want to pick up your creatures like Acidic Slime? I'm really against cards like this. It's not going to work the way you want it to. You're going to be in a situation where you play this thing, and then they kill your Eternal Witness, and then you have to bounce your own creature to your hand, and then you have nothing on the board. It's a 1 of 4 reasons, probably because you don't believe in this card too hard. Acidic Slime, then we got Hornet Queen. This is a great card if you can get it out. Karn the Great Creator. I like it. We need more Karn the Great Creators randomly in decks. I mean, this is land destruction just by itself. We have Beast Within, the Moss, Plow Under, Primal Command, Repudiate, Replicate, Trinisphere. And you got Utopia Sprawl. It's like, where's the Utopia Sprawl with your Arbor Elf deck? Okay, you got the Utopia Sprawl. Is this the best mana dork? Because if you just need green mana, you might be better off. I mean, it's a 1/1 creature, but you might be better off with like Noble Hierarch or any of the other Hierarchs, you know? The 1 power on Llanowar Elves doesn't matter, but the 1 extra power you get on Eternal Witness, or your Acidic Slime, or your Hornet Queen can matter. Teamer, Sabretooth if wants to return hand to creatures. Yeah, but it's a Teamer card. This is a mono green deck. Oh! It may say Teamer in the name, but it's actually a 4 mana. It's, yeah, pay 2, you may return another creature you control to its owner's hand. Well, this, I guess, is sort of an upgrade. If you do Teamer... Oh, it also gains Indestructible if you return another creature. So you does have an activated ability, but you have a lot of mana. So this might be the card you want instead of the Stampeding Sero, because you have to bounce something with this. So this might be better. So let's upgrade with the... I don't even like this card still, to be honest, but like it's better than this one. How much land do you have? You have 20 land. Yeah, I guess you're going to need these extra dorks. Wii Shop went back to Banjo-Kazooie. Yep, it does that. I have a lot of Banjo-Kazooie music in the queue. Let me know your favorite classic Nintendo tunes. It's got to be classic so I can get out of range of the copyright laws. You know, from Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. I think Nintendo 64 and older are all fair game. Especially let me know on YouTube in the comments section below. Surely Karn is a better lock. Why bother with all these when Mycosynth works just as well? Mycosynth Lattice is banned in Modern, that's why. Gradius in NES. FF1 Chaos Temple best. Alright, I'll keep those things in mind. I should get some Legend of Zelda music in here. Like, I mean, it's quite mellow, but it's fine. Why do we have Repudiate Replicate? You know what? Let's not play with this card. I think I know what you want to do with this. You want to be able to counter your opponent's fetch lands. But I don't think it's that good of a card. It's too reactive. I think it's just better that you like nuke them after the fact. So you might want to have like more Beast Withins. Either remove the Repudiate Replicate for more Beast Withins, or maybe more Plow Unders, and I would be fine with that. Or even more Acidic Slime. Acidic Slime is a very strong card. This is a very good card for 5 mana. It's very good. Even for Modern. Do we have enough things early on in the game? Maybe we don't. Maybe we have to go all in on Beast Within. So remove the Repudiate Replicate for Beast Within so you can like blow up lands. Trinisphere is fine. It's good. I like it. You have Walking Ballista, Grafdigger's Cage, Pithing Needle, Veil of Summer. You got the Orb, Liquid Metal Coating, of course, another Beast Within, Ensnaring Bridge, Trinisphere. And you can use Ensnaring Bridge because you can play like Hornet Queen and like make a bunch of green creatures in the air and then start going to town. Obstinate Baloth, Wormcoil Engine, Sundering Titan. Okay, so if we're gonna like, this is not a very good card. At the very least, upgrade this to Team or Sabretooth. I'd rather just not play it at all. I just play another like Llanowar Elf or Walking Ballista or Acidic Slime. And then, or maybe, whatever, you can keep it. Like, I understand the synergy, and when you have a lot of mana, you'll be able to use this thing. Team or Sabretooth will do the job. And then we've got, I think, replace the Repudiate Replicate with Beast Within. If there's anything else you guys have in mind, let me know. Endurance Inside is a pretty good idea, too. Maybe replacing at least a Beast Within, because we're going to move it to the main deck. Anything for... Oh, that's a good one. Super Mario RPG is fantastic. I gotta write that down. What is Liquid Metal Coating for? Is there artifact removal in this thing or something? Yes. So here's how it works. Liquid Metal Coating. Target permanent becomes an artifact in addition to its other types until end of turn. This is actually the reason. I'm glad you asked this. This is the reason why people combine this with Karn the Great Creator, because Karn has this +1 ability until your next turn. Up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. So what you do is you turn the land into an artifact, and then you turn the land into a creature, and it has no converted mana cost, so its power and toughness is 0, and then boom, it dies. So you blow up the lands one at a time. That's how it works. turn it like I get people just concede to me when I wish for the liquid metal coating. That's like, okay, we're done here. We scoop. Can't beat this Karn the Great Creator. We've been here before. Turn that land into an artifact. Blow it up. Turn another, and then you lock them out. Then they lose. They can't win. You don't actually want liquid metal coating in the main deck because there's no guarantee that you draw it. Whereas with Karn the Great Creator, it's got the -2. You may choose an artifact you own from outside the game or in exile, reveal that card, and put it into your hand. So you play Karn the Great Creator, turn 1, and then on that turn you get the liquid metal coating, and on your next turn you play liquid metal coating and tick up and start blowing up the lands. I know, yeah, we're very light on 3-drops. That's why I want to go more all in on Beast Within. I think that's a better idea. Anyway, hope that was some good feedback. Good luck with the list. Mono Green Ponza. You know what? I want Earthbound so bad, but Sony is copywriting Earthbound music at the moment, so I just don't want to get hassled with it. Sony doesn't even own the music. It's somehow in their library. They think they own it, and they're putting giant copyright strikes and taking videos down that have Earthbound music in them. A baby Yeti! Congratulations, you're the next contestant on Decklist Review. Yeah, exactly. Sony! Copyright strikes on Earthbound music. It doesn't make sense for anyone that knows anything about Earthbound and Sony. Makes no sense, but that's what they're doing. Big videos with Earthbound music on them are getting these giant copyright strikes from Sony. I mean, that's the copyright system on YouTube, people. It's not perfect. I'm taking a big gamble just playing this music. But whatever, they've locked down the streams channel, I don't care. Okay, we got Skelemental, we're playing a Skelemental deck. Ah yes, one of these Rakdos things. We got Dark Confidant, we got Kroxa, Lightning Skelemental, Seasoned Pyromancer. Interesting, you're not going the Thunderkin Awakener version. I mean, I think it's janky, but like everyone does this when they play these decks. Liliana the Veil, Cling to Dust, Fatal Push, Inquisition of Kozilek, Lightning Bolt, Thoughtseize, Unearth, Ransack the Lab. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Not in love with cards like this in a deck like this. Every mana counts. And you just don't have that many things from the graveyard to bring back. You just have Kroxa. I mean, I guess you could dump Seasoned Pyromancer, it wouldn't be too bad. Not in love with this at all. You need to be heavier on like some sort of Reanimator strategy. There needs to be more graveyard synergy. I mean, you have some, but I don't think it's enough. Like, Cling to Dust, Seasoned Pyromancer, and Kroxa is not enough in my opinion. You'd be better off with Dragon Rage Chandler, and then as you play spells, you just put stuff into your graveyard. You know what I mean? And maybe that's just the solution. Take out 3 Ransack the Lab. Take out 1 Dark Confidant, because this thing has no business in there here anyway. And then put in 4 Dragon Rage Chandler. But that's awkward too. Because you don't have Mishra's Bauble. Okay, play Ragavan. Play Ragavan. Why does everyone suggest Bone Shard? Like, you can only make use of... Bone Shards is a crap card. How do you use this card without synergy with this card? You're just 2-for-1ing yourself. As initial cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or discard a card. I'm getting this every single time, but if you're not playing like a pure Reanimate deck, if you don't have a lot of graveyard synergy, this is just bad. Good for second main sack Skelemental. Oh, I see what you mean. I don't think the synergy is there. I mean, okay, so the synergy is there, but I don't think there's enough synergy with the rest of the deck for it to work. Because I wouldn't want to sacrifice any of my other creatures. I mean, you could discard cards. You can discard cards. That's fine, but... so I would just suggest take out the Ransack, take out a Dark Confidant, play Ragavan. Because Ragavan can be put in any deck. And you have a lot of removal for Ragavan. That would work, and you have a lot of 3-drops. Because you could go like, you could go turn 2 Lightning Skelemental, right? I don't know if that's a good thing, but you could do that. You go turn 1 Ragavan, hit, get the treasure token, turn 2 Lightning Skelemental, get him. Well, I don't know about the Thunderkin away. Like, I know people go down this route, but I honestly don't believe in this card. It's easy to interact with. It only works if your opponent's not interacting with you at all with the Thunderkin Awakener. I mean, I don't mind Lightning Scale Elemental, to be honest. It's a fine card, and if you want to unearth it, go for it. I mean, that works too, in my opinion. Maybe run Dreadhorde Arcanist? It's not terrible, but I think Ragavan is better. So I think that would keep everything in check. Ransack the lab and one less Dark Confidant. Is anyone else have any suggestions, or do they see something I don't? We have Mountain, Swamp, Blood Crypt, Verdant Catacombs. I feel like you're a little down on mana, but maybe you're not. Cling to Dust draws a card. Yeah, you feel low on mana. Well, 21 is enough to cast things by turn 3, so. And if you have Ragavan in the deck, you might not want to buy Ragavan, but Ragavan would be the best card. Yeah, that was the thing. Like, the Thunderkin Awakener only gets back elemental cards. But that's what they used it for. They used this to just strictly get on. Like, the deck exists. Some people made Rakdos decks with Lightning Scale Elemental and Thunderkin Awakener, and Thunderkin Awakener had one job, and that was to bring back Lightning Scale Elemental. Claim/Fame? Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from the... Well, we don't want Claim, because the idea is we want to bring back Lightning Scale Elemental. And if you bring back Crocs, it would just die again. Or no, would it? Hold on. Yeah, return card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or would this work? When Crocs enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escapes. So yeah, you're not actually getting Croxa back. What do we got? We got Nihil Spellbomb, Collective Brutality, Damping Sphere, 1 Dreadbore, Anger of the Gods, Ashok Dream Render, Blood Moon, Plague Engineer, Boil. It's a strong sideboard. It's a powerful sideboard. Shame is Rakdos, like Jund, with a new insect planeswalker to unearth him. With the new insect? Oh, you want to play with Grist. You don't have two attack phases. Ragavan doesn't cast a turn 2 Skelemet. Yeah, it does. Oh, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. You're completely right. Yeah, I don't get to attack with it on turn 1. This thing doesn't have haste. So I attack with it, I get the treasure token. So really, actually, we're gonna setting up like turn 2 Seasoned Pyromancers and stuff. No, you're right, Christopher. Thank you very much for catching that. That's a good catch. That's a really good catch. Shit, that could be a deck building blunder. I would still play Ragavan because it's worth the mana. But yeah, that's a really good catch. Or we could make it work to get a second attack phase, but it won't be worth it. Need to fetch Skelemental and put him in the graveyard? Yeah, but how to do that easily without card disadvantage? Remember, okay, I gotta make mention here, people. I think one of the bigger mistakes about Lightning Skelemental in the past is when they build the deck, they're like... They build Lightning Skelemental decks assuming Lightning Skelemental just wins the game by itself. But it doesn't! It's just a value card. It's just 3 mana to deal 6 damage and make your opponent discard 2 cards if they have anything in their hand to discard. This card is a shitty win condition. This does not win the game. If your opponent has mana up, they just kill it. So you cannot base your entire deck around this card or you will lose. It is just like a sweetener to like a Rakdos deck or a Jund deck, or I don't know how many colors you have in it. If you focus your entire deck around Lightning Skelemental, it will be crap, because that is what was the problem with these Thunderkin Awakener decks. They're like, Lightning Skelemental all day, but like, Lightning Skelemental really doesn't win the game. It's just a big value. But your opponent still plays. They're still drawing a card every turn. Yeah, they got smacked for 6 damage, but now the creature's gone. It's like you shot your own Lightning Skelemental. So if you get too gung-ho around this card, you'll end up losing. You just gotta understand, like, you gotta... This is not the meat and potatoes to this deck. This is just a sweetener card. The meat and potatoes are the removal, the Croxa, the Seasoned Pyromancer. Like, this is the recurrable amount of damage that you're going to get every turn because the creature sits on the board, you know what I mean? Well, if you want to play Lurrus, you have to cut everything, so you gotta cut Liliana, so it's just a very different deck. Where do I submit Decklist for Decklist review? You go into my description, there's a link to my Discord, and then there's a channel called Decklist Review, and you put in the command here. I do 2 decklists a day. Dothy Voidwalker is a good suggestion. That could go into the sideboard somewhere. It could even be a replacement for maybe Nihil Spellbomb, but that's up to the creator if they want to use it. Or maybe it's a replacement to Ashiok. Maybe it's better than Ashiok, but Ashiok deals with Titan pretty well. Ashiok deals with Titan, like Amulet Titan, very well. Not to say that's a deck that you have to be prepared for, but that's Ashiok's job. But I can get behind Dothy Voidwalker. Tarash is a good card, but like we're going for value with Lightning Skelemental. That's the difference. I think our Tarash is Lightning Skelemental. You can submit anything that is not a commander or limited deck. Sorry, we don't take commander decks because it would take, I don't know all the cards. I'd have to spend like 20 minutes reading every single of your 100 cards. And then after that, I wouldn't have anything to say because I would have no suggestions. I don't know, maybe one day we'll have a commander day, but I'm assuming that's what it is. Gwent is a commander. Gwen? Oh, Gwendolyn. Yeah, this is probably a commander deck. Sorry about that. 4 Unearth, 4 Fling. Was Flamekin Harbinger in the last deck? The last deck was not... Was that a Skelemental deck? No, it was a... The last deck was a Mono Green's Planza deck, so no, it didn't have that Flamekin Harbinger. Oh, Gwent is another card game. Funny stuff. Alright, I think that's all the feedback I've got for this deck. Dothy Voidwalker is a very good card. I don't know what to take out for it, though. So that's up to you where you want to put it. I mean, you could replace the last 2 Dark Confidant for that Dothy Voidwalker. I'm not high on Dark Confidant, to be honest. The last 2 Dark because I wanted to get rid of a Dark Confidant and 3 Ransack the Lab for the Ragavan. You could also replace the last 2 Dark Confidant for Dothy Voidwalker. This is card advantage, but I don't think this is card advantage you want in this metagame. It dies too easily. And if you are drawing cards and losing life, I don't know if that's where you want to be, because these other decks in the metagame will just stomp you. They're going to take advantage of you going down on life. I don't think any of these decks care about your card advantage, because they have massive card advantage where they just swoop in and destroy you. Alright, well that's going to be it for today. So if you want to check out the replays, go check it out at my alternate YouTube channel, Nikachu MTG Streams. If I didn't get your comments, questions, or deck lists, it's because you didn't super chat. But don't worry, we still do it for free. But if I didn't get to them, you have another shot every other day of the week. Weekdays of the week. Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you'd love to support Coffee and MTG, and you don't do so already, you could always drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You could also become a patron at patreon.com/NikachuMTG. Or you can hit the join button on YouTube. Some people do that. So thank you very much again, everyone, for showing up. Again, another day. Another day, another coffee, another great Magic discussion. So keep brewing up those coffees, Coffee Crew, and we will keep brewing up Magic.